there in YouTube land, and welcome back to the channel. And today we are about to review my friend Sean's Tracer 900 GT from 2020. Yes, 2020. Now, it is a beautiful bike that has the MT-09's legendary CP3 engine. Now, this is before they changed it to the bigger bore or whatever they did on it and made it a little bit bigger. But still, it's a legendary engine. I'm really happy. I've ridden it before, but I didn't get a chance to do a review for you guys. So today we're just going to take it easy to go to Racers Road, and on our way there we're going to review this beautiful Tracer 900 GT. This bike is an all-rounder from Yamaha, and they still make it. And this one has the bags, but Sean doesn't like riding with them on the twisties for some reason. I don't know. And we're with my friend Francois and his wife. Oh, I forgot your name. What's sorry?
Natalie.
Natalie. Yes, Nat. All right. So let's get on the road and let's see how this bike rides. Oh, I have my microphone here too close to my nose, and a little cat thing scratching my nose. All right, so the first thing you notice when you hop on this bike, especially coming from the R7, is that it is a very tall bike. All right. Oh, such smoothness on the engine. Now this thing, I don't know if it's from time that he has been riding on it, but it does have a little bit of lag here, which is it's going to take some getting used to. Now the riding position is obviously very comfortable, and it'll be awesome to do a comparison with Francois' BMW S1000R XR. Alright, so the friction zone is smooth. Oh, and everything about this bike just says comfort and smoothness. But we'll see. It does drop on a dime, so that's good. Now, I already discussed with you guys that I don't like the type of riding position of adventure style bikes. For me, a touring bike means Harley or that type of touring bike, or maybe the BMW's big bikes. Riding on a bike that has this position makes me feel like a nerd. On this bike it shouldn't, because it's not a nerdy bike, but I don't know, it's just my idea. I have preconceptions, and I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of people are going to be upset about me telling some bad things about this bike, Sean especially. But, well, thank you so much, Sean, for letting us ride this bike. Okay, so yeah, the riding position, the handlebars are very close to you, so that's another thing that you have to get used to. It's not sporty at all in that regard. But the engine and the chassis, I was doing the eventual right, and I'm not turning here. This engine, the chassis, those are all, well, they come from the MT-07, so that is a very sporty bike. Now the seat is comfortable so far because it's pretty wide and pretty big, and it's long, so you can move around in the position. So if you get tired on one position, especially on long touring days, you can just change your stance, right? Change your position. So that's good. I like the way it sounds. It has a nice induction note, but this is the first, because I've ridden an XSR 900. I've never ridden an MT-09. No, I have not. So that's one of the bikes that it's on the list to at least ride. But the XSR is on my list of bikes to buy eventually, because I love it. but the older generation, the first generation, I loved it a little bit more, but it has the same engine as this one. And then the XSR 900 from this year, or the new ones, they have the bigger engine, and they're great. I love them, but I love the first one better. So because the way it rode, the way, because the new one, they tried to make it a little bit too sporty for my taste, and it was uncomfortable, especially the seat. But let's go back to the Tracer 900. This one is pretty comfortable. Now it has this windshield, which is an aftermarket, but the one that it comes from with the original is very similar. It's just a little bit smaller. Now I'm gonna have to ask Sean, why did he have to change this one? I wish I was not behind this truck, so let's get rid of this truck. If we have a chance, I would have to ask him why did he have the need to change it, because, well, it already comes standard with a windshield. I hope I'm getting a good shot of me riding this bike, and you know what, we're gonna have to wait because I have people behind me. I don't want to just leave them. We'll have a chance to open this bike up a little bit once we hit some open roads. Anyway, it does come with a quick shifter as standard with the bags. I believe it comes with this hand guards. So a whole bunch of stuff comes as standard on this bike, and for the price, it's not a bad price. I forgot to buckle my helmet again, as always, because that's something I always do, and that is why I am a forever newbie. You can call me other names, but I like to call myself a newbie, alright? And we'll leave it at that. Anyway, so let's try to buckle this. And then I brought all my gear, my sport gear, because I'm riding the R7 on the twisties. I don't think they belong on this bike, but we'll find out. Let's see if we can do this with our gloves on, because these gloves are really hard to take off and on again. You don't take them off, you take them on. Take them off, you don't take them on. English teacher. All right, almost. I think I'm not gonna be able to buckle it, but nope. Wow. Close, but no cigar. So the clutch, when you release the clutch, it takes a little bit to engage, even though it's very smooth, the friction zone, it takes a little bit of time to engage. And I don't know if it's not the throttle, it's just the clutch. Maybe it's just because I'm used to demoing brand new bikes, because my bikes all do that after a while. Now this one, oh, I said I had a quick shifter, I didn't use it. So this is the first bike with that engine. Oh man, it's fast. You don't feel it, but right away I was doing 90 right there, and I'm already on 5th gear. So this is the first time I've ridden the engine, the CP3, and I can actually feel the grunt of the cross plane, because every other time I've ridden a CP3, it just felt very smooth and you didn't feel that cross plane technology, that little grunt and that little howl that it does. This one I felt it right away. So yeah, this is a very comfortable bike. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a bike like this, maybe this one, or maybe an XR from BMW instead of a Harley. But I don't know, the Harley makes you feel like a badass and has some things going for it. But if it were just this bike, you're gonna have this bike as your only bike in the stable, it makes perfect sense, because it's sporty enough, it's comfortable. I don't know how the gas mileage is, because my R7 is great, and my Suzuki, for being a 4-liter bike, 4-cylinder, it's also very good. But Yamahas are not known for good gas mileage, so we'll have to do some research on that. But I feel this is a very nice place to be. Even though it's a tall bike, you don't feel that is gonna, I don't know, it doesn't feel unstable. On the contrary, it feels very stable. You can ride it with just one hand. You can relax. I see why my friend Sean is always doing some crazy stuff on this bike, because, well, it just fills you with confidence. That's something that that the engineers of Yamaha should feel very proud about what they achieved on this platform. It's a great engine, great sound. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, we're not riding that fast. You need to stop. Or are we? Maybe we are. If I were on an expedition, or what's that? An Explorer. If I were in an SUV, maybe I feel like I'm going really fast. Another thing that I noticed right away on this bike is that the Chant has bigger. What am I doing? What am I doing? The Chant has bigger fingers than me, because the levers here, I never know how to call those things. They're farther away than on all of my bikes, so I need to extend and reach for me to be able to engage the levers. How do you say that? Oh man, I don't know. But very nice bike so far. I mean, I like it. Suspension wise, it's one of the biggest and greatest things about these sport touring high legged bikes is that they are well, the suspension works perfectly, right? It has a big suspension, but it doesn't feel like all squishy and soft. It just feels great. I'm doing a full stop because that's how I always do it.
What was a stop sign? I totally paused.
Even though I did it a little bit later. So right now we are going on Racers Road, but we're going really slowly because, oh, quick shifter is terrible. It does not want to engage. So we'll have to do this. I don't know if there's a bike meet or something, that's why the cop was there. But anyway, as I was saying, as an all-rounder, a bike like this, you can take it to the twisties, you can commute on it, put your bags on it so you can carry your stuff. And I mean, all these things that you can do on this bike. Yeah, it is great. Now, what are the competition for this bike? It's going to be obviously the Tiger, the 800s, the 900s, those type of bikes. I've never ridden one of those, but I have sat on them. They do feel a lot more premium than the Yamaha, and they sound a little bit better too. But I mean, it all depends on what you like, because those bikes can go a little bit more off-road than this one. And because this one is not built for off-road, even though it has the looks, and you can definitely put some knobby tires and go on some trails, this bike is for the street, it's for the road. Yeah, and when you're on a road like this, there are some, I mean, you can actually get your butt off the seat, and it's great. It's gonna fill you with confidence, and you can actually drop out of the saddle, even though the seat is a little bit wide, but it doesn't. I mean, there are other bikes that are supposed to be more sporty that have less of a sporty seat that you can go on. And we're going to try to do some shots here, but because of this bicycle event, we're not going to be able to do that. But yeah, the suspension on the bike is great, and the chassis, I mean, you can actually go a little bit fast on this bike. It feels very stable, and it handles the bumps really well. So yeah, I like this bike a lot. Oh, my camera is fogging up. What the fug, man? What the fug? So what else about this bike? So with the brakes, we haven't really tested the brakes. Oh, they have a lot of bite. and they feel really good. It's one of those things that Yamaha does a little bit better than Suzuki. Even though they're not the greatest brakes in the world, they are going to be better than the Suzukis. But the funny thing is, well, maybe it's just because this bike is a couple of years older than my R7. The R7 has that Brembo master cylinder, and it does feel a little bit better on the brakes. Let's check out the back brake. Okay, so the back brake is non-existent. It's pretty terrible. It takes a while for you to feel something, and it doesn't really stop this bike at all. And Sean said he just changed the brake fluids, but there's something definitely going on with this back brake. Alright, let's get rid of this truck right here. Oh, I just feel the wind. You can actually feel the wind when you hit 100, and it's because it's a tall bike, so you do feel that. It doesn't feel terrible like that Ibex that we rode the other day from CF Moto, but you do feel the wind hitting you once you hit 100 miles per hour. But if you're riding like this, you don't really need to move from the saddle, because the bike just fills you with confidence that it's going to do its job just by itself. But if you want, you can actually go like this, right? Oh, just to get some shots, like, oh, I'm riding really fast, when you're not. You're not. And especially if it's all fucked up, you can't really see anything. So that sucks. So, yeah, well, Sean, you did a good thing buying this bike. I would definitely recommend it to anybody who has, you know what, just the idea of getting just one bike. Now for me, would I put it on the list? No, definitely not, because as I said, I don't like adventure style ergonomics on my bikes, and it's just a personal preference. And maybe it's just me trying to say, you know what, I don't need another bike on the stable. I'm happy with 3, cruiser style, sport bike, and naked. This one would make it a 4th one. So I don't want to do that, all right? As much as I love a bike like this, I would not put it on the list. Well, that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you liked the video, to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell button, and share it with all your friends. If you don't like the videos, well, share it with all your enemies. And I'll see you guys on the next one.